The change does not come from within the system. The change is going to come from outside the system. It's going to come from a spiritual revolutionary. Because the mental capacity is too far ahead. We're dominated by technology, but spirituality is still in the crib. We're babies spiritually, on purpose. They keep people from having a spiritual growth, a spiritual development. They're keeping your levels of connections to the higher dimensions, to the real reality at bay. Because they cannot allow for a human being to spiritually awaken, to having a true spiritual awakening. They have substituted that with your religion as your spiritual awakening. That is the artificial flavor, and individuals thinking that they're saved, that there will be allowed eternal life. That is the chemical-based substance that keeps the human beings at one level to be ruled and controlled. The politics, the capitalism, the fascism. You can see the distraction is happening everywhere. This is why they train you thoroughly, mentally, to be a certain way, to allow your emotions to be impacted by what's going on around you. The system knows that nature takes over. The human being is nature. The human being will find this revolution. And we living at a time where the awakening is happening rapidly. A lot of individuals are having a true awakening spiritually. In order to control it, or try to control it, they must give you a lot of fear factors and distractions in the system that try to keep you from reaching those goals. For unhandcuffing your hands, unhandcuffing your mind, taking the rags off your eyes, allowing for your true eye to see things for how it truly is. The true eye has been blinded for thousands of years. They have given you a false eye. They have replaced your spiritual eye with your two physical eyes, and allow for you to obtain information with your two physical eyes when it comes to spirituality, growth, and development. One cannot reach the levels of saving itself if you don't know yourself, if you don't know your environment, if you're not connected with nature. You got everything in the system when it comes to spirituality that keeps people disconnected from nature and keeps you in your mental capacity, keeps you in your ego. A lot of these individuals are completely dangerous when it comes to the truth of the human being's development. The racism, they still at it with that. It is part of the separation of the human beings in society. If they can keep you fighting, they can keep you separate, and if it can keep you judging each other, you stay under control. You can't have masses amount of individuals having a true awakening to what's really happening to everybody in everyday society. They keep attacking the black race, because if this race unites, they will be the first race, so-called race, to become balanced with spirituality and technology. That's godhood level right there. That is not happening on this planet right now. You have a lot of technology and mental capacities, spiritualities, It's not even close to the technology. But the black race by nature, the genetics, the beings have the ability to reach outside of this dimension. Once awakened, the connection, the physical structures, these beings are extremely powerful. Mind-to-mind communication, telepathic, extremely strong and powerful with these beings if they were awakened. That's why they keep them divided. They keep them fighting each other, keep them separated. They will not allow them to unite. The truth of spirituality is more than a religion. It is the human being itself in its true form. It is your soul inside your physical body. It is the knowledge that's contained in your soul that's awakened, that's delivered to the physical form. That's where all the talents come from. The mind-to-mind communication, telepathy, doing all the magical things that we call magic, calling individuals gods, because of the spirituality has developed where their soul is being expressed in this physical dimension. And every square inch root of the existence information is being broadcast on this level. That's the only way where you can reach a high sums of technology. That's the only way where you can be unharmed, untouched, because you can't be fooled. There's no trick. You have to be educated in the physical dimension without the spirituality in order to be controlled and tricked and fooled, to make you believe certain things in this system is real reality, to make you believe that you are saved in religion structures, to make you believe that anything you do, you must go outside of yourself. That's the key component of keeping individuals from having a true spiritual development. That is the apex of society, and having a spiritual development to its true potential. Everything you do is a threat. Everywhere you go, you watch. Every time you speak, people crumble because they are used to the false information. They're used to allowing somebody else mental capacity to operate them. To demonize human beings from themselves, to scare them from themselves, to keep them away from themselves, to keep them running from themselves. And people accepting it. That the truth has not been spread amongst their civilizations for thousands of years, and now the truth is coming back out, and everybody's terrified of it because you've been trained to be terrified of it. That's the only way the planet can evolve, is get the human beings to see eye to eye for the true connections of souls in the revolution. We've been beginning to see that through certain individuals. They are broadcasting the true form of spirituality on this planet. And it's beginning to make a huge change because people are beginning to look at these individuals as their way or the excuse to find themselves. That's all for now. Enjoy the rest of your day.